This is the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief, keeping you informed about the happenings in Annapolis and the area. Local news, local sports, local events, local opinion, and of course, local weather. The Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief starts now.
Good morning. It's Thursday, July 11th, 2019. This is John Frenaye, and this is your Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. Residents down in Mayo are pissed. Local residents are now taking care of some racist graffiti that was found at a public skate park, which had been there for about a month for everyone to see. Someone wrote a racist message in the middle of the ground, and the N-word is written beside a figure hanging from a tree in a noose. Now, the property is owned by the Mayo Civic Association, but they had always had a lease with Arundel County to maintain the lot. However, that lease was not renewed, and the maintenance fell back to the Mayo Civic Association, which wasn't done. A local resident got some spray paint and covered up the graffiti, and the Civic Association is going to take care of the rest. Really disappointing that in 2019, this crap is still going on. Some great news. Joseph Earl Carter is guilty. Even better news is that he is facing at least 20 years in prison. Now, Joseph Earl Carter is a man accused of sexually abusing a 3-year-old in Davidsonville. This happened back in August of 2018. The Anne Arundel County Police responded to the Anne Arundel Medical Center for a report of child sexual abuse. The 3-year-old victim reported that her Uncle Earl had committed sexually abusive acts against her. Police investigated and learned that Mr. Carter offered to watch the child while his wife, who is the child's aunt, took a nap. Carter told police that he was never alone with the child, but his wife disputed that and said he was alone with the child while she took a nap. During the trial, the victim, who is now 4, did testify, and she testified under the tender years statute, which is admissible. And the jury had the chance to hear the child recount to a specially trained social worker the details of her abuse. Additionally, they heard from the emergency room physician who treated her, the lead detective, and the family members who described her behavior and emotional changes after the abuse. The jury did convict Carter of 5 counts, and he is facing a maximum penalty of 45 years and a mandatory minimum of 20 years because, get this, he is a repeat violent sex offender and was found guilty back in 2003 in Worcester County, and somehow he was able to get out. He is scheduled to be sentenced on September 10th of 2019 by Circuit Court Judge Glenn Clavins. I hope this judge leans to the 45-year side of that sentence recommendation as opposed to the 20-year. Anne Arundel County Police Department is asking for the public's help in resolving a crime that happened back in June. On June 22nd at about 4 p.m., officers responded to a fast food place on 7400 block of Ritchie Highway in Glen Burnie for a reported assault and robbery. There, they met with a 77-year-old woman who stated that she was sitting in her vehicle just eating a sandwich when a suspect opened her car door, assaulted her, and stole her purse. She did sustain minor injuries during the assault, and police are looking for the suspect. They do have some video surveillance footage posted on their Facebook page. You can go to the Anne Arundel County Police Department's Facebook page and look for that. Or you can go to eyeonannapolis.net. We do have a post with some screenshots from their Facebook page. Anybody that may have any information is asked to contact the Northern District Detectives at 410-222-6135. All right, let's get out of all that crappy news and get on to some good stuff. A little more than a month ago, I told you that the Maritime Republic of Eastport's Tug-of-War was in jeopardy. The old guard pretty much was tired, and there were not any newcomers volunteering to carry on the torch. Well, in a last-ditch effort to save the tug and other events, the MRE held a recruitment meeting on June 4th. Lo and behold, some volunteers stepped up. They now have a committed group of volunteers that are committed to making the tug go off in grand style in November. Deep in our hearts, we knew Eastport wouldn't let this quirkiest of quirky traditions die, and from speaking to several people that are involved on both sides of the Gulf of Eastport, it seems that not only has the tug been saved, but the rivalry seems to have been reignited. You want to make sure you save that date on your calendar. You can mark it down there in ink right now, November 2nd, 2019, at the crack of noon, just like everything is in Eastport. You can start training now, get your teams together, because I have a suspicion that this year might be one for the books. All right, that does wrap it up for the top news today. Please make sure you're checking out eyeonannapolis.net throughout the day because we do update it throughout the day. It is Thursday. We have Trevor standing by with your Annapolis Makerspace Maker Minutes. And of course, we also have George Young with your local DMV weather forecast. And he is coming up right after this message from Kegs and Corks, which is a date that you want to put on your calendar as well for August 17th for one of the best festivals of the year.
Hey, it's Gina Crash. Join me Saturday, August 17th for the Kegs and Corks Festival at the Arundel County Fairgrounds. Tickets benefit the Special Olympics of Maryland and include a souvenir glass, unlimited wine and beer samples, plus live music by Amish Outlaws, J. Corsi Willis and the Stone Authors, and XPD Band. Enjoy over 80 Maryland wines, 40 craft beers, incredible food, unique arts and crafts, and more. Go now to kegsandcorksfest.com for tickets.
Going out? You need the most up-to-date local weather. Here's George Young from DMV Weather in Annapolis with today's forecast.
Hey everyone, this is George with DMV Weather, and this is your Eye on Annapolis forecast for Thursday, July 11th. Today should start off in good shape with sunshine and warm temps climbing through the 80s to maybe 90 plus for many. But as a frontal boundary connected to a low pressure system well to the northwest moves through the region, it could bring more strong to severe storms in the PM hours, which could bring flash flooding, dangerous cloud to ground lightning, and possibly even damaging winds before skies clear on Friday, as sunny and hot conditions return again with highs Friday through the weekend in the upper 80s to maybe mid 90s. So stay tuned for updates throughout the day today on our app and social media channels in case big storms do develop, but definitely make more outdoor plans for this weekend as summertime conditions will again cover the region. Okay, that's it for today. This is George Young of DMV Weather. Make it a great day out there. Be sure to get our free app on all of your devices by searching for DCMDVA Weather in the Apple or Google App Stores, and also follow us on Facebook and Twitter and on our website at dmvweather.com so you can always stay weather informed.
Head over to the Annapolis Town Center July 20th from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. for the Annapolis Warehouse Sale, featuring your favorite Annapolis boutiques. Here, a pop-up sweet-like summer shop for all your summer essentials, and the Art Gallery pop-up shop in conjunction with Annapolis Arts Alliance. Enjoy giveaways, music, shopping, and fun. For more details, check out the Town Center's website at visitatc.com and follow them on Facebook and Instagram at Annapolis Town Center.
Every week, makers, crafters, and educators hold events all over the area. Highlighting some of those, here's our Maker's Minute, brought to you by Annapolis Makerspace.
Hey, this is Trevor from Annapolis Makerspace with this week's Maker Minutes. Tonight at Sandy Point, they're having a Fireflies at Night hike. Families can learn about our local fireflies, play fun games to learn how fireflies communicate, then go on a night hike to observe them in action. Bring insect repellent and shoes good for possibly muddy trails. Today through Sunday, the Tuckahoe Steam and Gas Association is having their annual show down in Easton. This 46th annual show is something to witness. With acres of land, the show includes dozens of steam and diesel-powered tractors and engines, a working sawmill, rock crusher, and their own private railroad, as well as a huge flea market full of tools and other odds and ends. They even make their own ice cream with one of their motor systems. And a reminder, the National Electronics Museum in Linthicum starts their Pioneer Camp for ages 8 through 11 next week. It runs Thursday, July 17th through Friday, July 18th. They'll be studying electricity and magnetism. And if you miss this session, there'll be another one in early August. At Local by Design off of Margaret Avenue, their Ray of Light studio is having a couple classes and workshops this week. On Tuesday is Make Waves with Alcohol ink. Learn how to blend blue and green alcohol ink to create your own unique ocean scenes. No two waves are alike. On Wednesday, there's Mix and Learn with Colors. Learn how to blend acrylic paints and make any color in the rainbow. This 2 Wednesday mini course will teach you the fundamentals of blending your own colors. And all next week is Ray of Light Studios Color Camp for kids ages 10 to 15. Each day of the week introduces a different art form, full of color and fun. Students will work with acrylics, watercolors, alcohol ink, markers, and printmaking all in 1 week. This week at Art Farm in Annapolis. Tomorrow night is their monthly comedy film night, hosted by Clown School of Hollywood. This family-friendly monthly film night will entertain and educate you about the role of the clown in film. This month focuses on Chaplin vs. Keaton, a night of shorts and clips from 2 of Hollywood's funniest filmmakers. Next Wednesday, their Intro to Improv Summer Camp for Adults continues. There's a couple of more weeks left, and with standalone lessons each week, there's never a bad time to jump in and learn the creative expression of improv. And all next week at Art Farm is their Nature-Inspired Art Summer Camp for ages 5 through 8. Kids will learn methods of traditional arts and crafts, explore the cultures that made them, while looking at nature for inspiration. Make birdhouses out of gourds, carve mock scrimshaw, make paper mache, weave, sew, and paint various useful and decorative pieces. Also, don't forget that Art Farm has open studio time if you have your own materials but need a space to work. At Maryland Hall this week, on Friday is a plein air landscape painting and oil workshop. Students will be taken to a location in the Annapolis area to learn more about painting landscapes. On Saturday is a drone photography workshop. Local photographer Rich Isaacson will teach you how to use a drone to take eye-popping aerial photos and videos. The workshop includes a live flight and photo demo. Students may bring their own drones, but no drone is required to take the class. On Tuesday, Maryland Hall is having a pottery wheel workshop. This 2-session class is to let people give pottery throwing a try. Materials, tools, and hands-on instruction are included. At the end, you can choose 2 to 3 pieces to be fired, and in the second session, different glazing and decorating techniques will be discussed, and you'll have a chance to glaze your pieces. And finally, on Tuesday, Maryland Hall has their City Doc Speaker Series. This time, autonomous vehicles with Dr. Tim Chapin, a discussion about how historic communities can integrate with autonomous vehicles. This week at the Arundel County Public Library System. All next week, the Eastport Annapolis Neck Library is hosting a cosmic coding class. Children entering 4th or 5th grade will use little programmable microbits to learn the basics of computer programming during this week-long class. All experience levels are welcome and registration is required. The microbit was created by the BBC as an open-source hardware platform that was inexpensive and easy to program. Next week at the Pongos Learning Lab and Coder Kids Club in Crofton. All next week, they have 2 fun summer camps running. First is Modding Minecraft Summer Camp for ages 3 to 8. Kids will learn how to install and use mods, as well as building their own using Java code in a simple drag-and-drop editor. As kids become more comfortable, they can handwrite their own code. And also next week, Pongos is having their Robotics Summer Camp for grades K through 2. Kids will learn how to program robots without code, meet a robotic engineer, complete challenges, and build their own robots to take home. And also don't forget that Pongos has regular weekly clubs for little scientists, builders, YouTube stars, and animators, as well as gamers. And this week at Annapolis Makerspace, on Saturday, we're having a big anniversary party and open house. Come on by and help us celebrate our 2nd anniversary and check out the shop. If you know anyone interested in woodworking, electronics, crafts, or just a lifelong student always interested in learning something new, bring on by and meet our members. On Monday, our weekly electronics class continues. On Tuesday is our monthly CAD and CAM with CNC using Autodesk Fusion 360 workshop. If you're interested in using a CNC router and want to learn the workflow getting from a 3D design to the router, that's a good workshop to check out. And as with every week, Wednesday is our woodworking open night, and Thursdays is our electronics open night. And if you have any questions about Annapolis Makerspace, the Maker Minutes, or any of these events, feel free to contact me at Trevor@makeannapolis.org, or just drop me a line to let me know what we could be doing better. And you can catch me tonight and every Thursday night at Annapolis Makerspace on Renard Court for Electronics Night. And you can find links to all of these events at the Annapolis Makerspace website at makeannapolis.org. And whether you're making art, software, sawdust, or just a mess, chances are you're already a maker. This has been Trevor from Annapolis Makerspace with this week's Maker Minutes.
There is a diamond of diamonds. It's from De Beers. Only 14 diamond tears in the world can touch them. Its name, Forevermark. And Zachary's is the only jeweler in the Annapolis area that has it. Not only is it beautiful and rare, it has a story, supporting women in diamond-producing areas around the world. So when you give a Forevermark diamond, you don't just give, you give back. Zachary's and Forevermark, a jeweler and a jewel. Online at zacharysjewelers.com.
You've been listening to the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. Tell your friends and colleagues this is the podcast where you can keep up on the latest with what's going on in Annapolis. And also tell them about our website, eyeonannapolis.net, where you can find even more information. This podcast comes to you every Monday through Friday at 7 a.m., keeping you informed with the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. And take a moment to listen to our other podcast, The Maryland Crabs, released every Thursday at noon.